Bull alert. Donald Trump is getting more power to potentially fire Jerome Powell. Friends, do you remember yesterday I covered this news for you? I can't believe we're going to see this. So, Donald Pump, friends, here he is. Donald Pump. Donald Trump, remember, he's the US president, yeah? And the US Fed, they're meant to be independent. They're not meant to cross. Okay, meant to. So it was reported yesterday, man, I started getting goosebumps when I heard this. So Jay Powell, he's been a bit naughty. The interest rates are at 4.5%. He cut 3 times leading into the election to help Joe Biden. He hasn't cut at all for Donald Trump. So Donald, he's gone to the Supreme Court. Now, when I reported it for you yesterday, remember, friends, you go check the comments and people replying said, Somi, you don't understand how the American system works, bro. The president doesn't have power to cut off the US Fed chairman. And I said, Faston, Habibi Albi, Mr. Faston, I got to tell you something, bro. You might have to pause on that. Bloomberg Economics, US Insight. Robert nudges Fed closer to a loss of independence. Oh, his name is David Wilcox. No, thank you very much, sir. I'm not into that. The Fed's ability to conduct monetary policy free of political interference is under imminent threat. On April 9th, the legal struggle over this issue moved one step closer to the climactic battle. Supreme Court Justice John Roberts reversed a lower court ruling and allowed President Trump to proceed, for now, with firing 2 officials who led independent agencies. So when I reported it for you, it was that he was seeking it. He's like, hey, can you please approve this? Man, they're moving fast. They're like, yes, get rid of the man who doesn't want to cut the interest rates. Damn, man. Look, that's a man on a mission. He wants those rates cut. And by the way, the US inflation came out yesterday, friends. Remember? It's down to 2.4%. It's staggering down. TruFlation is down to 1.34%. I'll show you the charts. TruFlation is it's a real-time composite of everything, basically. So you can see a better reading of what the inflation is like in the US economy. Look at this. It's down to, by gosh, bro, it's down to 1.3%. So this thing has been leading these things out. By the way, that's today. Okay, yeah, that's today. Remember, inflation, the numbers you get are from 2 months ago. So, like, when you're getting a data point in April, you're getting, I think, all of February's data. So, I think February occurs. They spend all of, I think, March compiling, and then they give you the data. And I think it's like that. Or maybe you get it in March. Either way, it's like last month, right? So it's dropped like a rocket again. All right. So you can see this coming down here. So, I mean, look at it. It's kind of funny that look, this Feb, this was Feb. So Feb was actually 2.3, 2.4, which is actually what the Kippy is right now. And then this thing saying next one's going to go down and down. So, oh man, I'm shaking in my boots right now. I did not think we would get the double bubble alt season. Potential white swan. Fly, my pretties, fly. Oh, man. And by the way, for all the cucks out there who say, no, how dare you mess with the integrity of the US Fed? Sit down, bro. Do you know how the US Fed works? They've been robbing your purchasing power since day one, you little bitch. Do you understand how the US Fed works? You don't. You're going to be a bug eater. You're going to be demanding everyone else gets their 15th jab in the next world crisis when they do that fake cyber attack and everything else, other bullshit coming, okay? Sit down. And by the way, you know what? We'll leave it for another show. Listen, Roberts ordered lawyers for the 2 fired officials to respond by April 15th. It's increasingly clear the issue eventually will be argued before the Supreme Court. Man, friend, oh man, this is going to be wild. And they're going to have to do it quick. The US debt has to roll over by June. Running out of time. Even mentions here, right? Their legal situation is the same as that of the Fed Reserve governors, making the outcome of their cases pivotal for the Fed's own independence. But just sit down, dude. We're not stupid, okay? We understand there's a. You know what? Actually, most people. Okay, I get the blind is closed Donald Pump, just press up, sir. Please, just press up. Now, that's why I wanted to give you that very special update, man. Like, we gotta be like, that's gonna be crazy, friends. Like, in 4 or 5 days, we might get like more news. Like, hey, we're gonna have to fire the dude because he's not pumping the bags enough, man. Oh man. So yeah, that might be our key, friends, to getting maybe Ethereum to reverse around. But it won't just be Ethereum. Remember, Ethereum is a reflection of the business cycle. So it's not just meth, right? The business cycle has been below 50 for a long time. Yes, the longest in 50 years, man. So, you know, if you have friends and family and asking, hey, man, why is crypto doing really bad? You know why. Yeah, we got hit by the worst in 50-year event where business ISM, the cycle, low confidence is here for 29 months, yeah, in a row, which is trash. When in the previous cycles, look how green they were. 6 months, 12 months, 10 months, we got 29. The last time it was as bad as this, actually a bit worse than this, it was 1980. Yeah, and it went for 39 months before it like cleared, I guess, an ISM above 52. And when that clears, everything will be all right. So it's not going to happen next cycle, but like who cares about next cycle? We care about now, right? Now, where's macro and everything going to go from here? Well, honestly, friends, if you're looking at the US Fed's interest rate expectation moves, this is the US 2-year minus the Fed funds rate. It's sitting at a value right now of minus 0.5. So there are 2 cuts priced in, but it's the 2-year forward. So that's why I guess Mr. Pump is like, let me say it again. You don't cut the rates now, you're getting fired. You're slow to move. You're not doing it properly. You know, he could be right, by the way. He could be right. But that's the US Fed, man. What are you going to do? 2 cuts priced in, that's not enough. They have 9 trillion, 7 trillion to roll over, and it's coming in June. That's why I didn't think it would come down to the wire like this, man. I didn't think it would like literally come down to it's a believe in something cycle, man. This is the 10-year T-note futures, friends. Everyone's going to be talking about this because they're talking about the US yield. Look how just the bonds dumped down, and everyone was hoping they'd be much higher. There's no demand for the US bonds, just like everything else, at lower yield. So the demand is here at a 4.5% yield. The US government obviously wants there to be demand so they can crank it and they can obviously do the debt rollover. Now, as well, friends, I got to show you this. There's a secret, amazing thing that's been happening. If you're familiar with my channel, my show, you understand that you deserve some Puppy G. Do you remember the others ETH ratio? You know, I always report on the others ETH. Have a look at it, man. Look at that, friends. Others ETH is now up to 1.11. Now, some are asking, so I mean, how's that bullish? Well, let me tell you something, okay? Basically, altcoins outside of the top 10, so the belly of the curve, the riskiest part of the curve, they are not waiting for Ethereum to rally, and they're already moving up in strength. Now, moving up in strength, it's a bit of a twisty term there. It's more like Ethereum is cratering to zero and these guys are stabilizing. That's what it really is. So you know what this actually means, friends, is most ETH ratios, they're rising. You know, I'll give you an example. And to be honest, this is what you want. So I guess the dream is in this cycle, you accumulate enough BTC to get more ETH, and then you're playing for the big one in 2028, 2029 cycle where ETH BTC goes up. Which I was hoping all of that would happen this cycle. It's not happening this cycle, okay? Look at this, for example, friends. And I told you the ETH ratios are moving up. Look at this. This thing's like ready to go. This is Link versus ETH, okay? Link versus ETH. So in an ideal world, both Ethereum gets to 20K and the altcoins rally against Ethereum, but we're not going to get both. Actually, I made a video 3-4 months ago. I said we're only going to get one of these two. Either Ethereum is going to crank and blow the roof off, or altcoins are going to catch up on their ratios. But I don't think we're going to get both. And it seems to be playing out. So the one I guessed that was going to happen is what's happening now, right? It's ETH is going to be weak the whole cycle because it's the third cycle curse. And most of the altcoins will catch up on ETH. But yeah, you also might say, hey, if they're catching up on ETH, shouldn't we be rotating to ETH? Yeah, but just be careful with that, friends, because if Link ETH goes up here, all right, and you're like, oh, cool, I want to rotate and accumulate more Ethereum. I'm just going to show you something, okay? If it gets up there, you might be getting an ETH BTC that has retraced to the Fibonacci, which is around 61.8 is around 0.55. So you might be buying in. So if you're rotating into ETH, you might be getting ETH BTC here. And in the next bear market, you might see it go back down and do that, right? So then you're going to be pissed off. Because you're like, oh man, I bought into ETH again and I dropped another 50% against BTC. That sucks, right? I want to show you what XRP did during that time because I find that fascinating as well. How XRP behaved in its third cycle along the BTC ratios. That was very interesting to me, and I've shown it here for you. So look what it actually did, friends. So it went up. It got cursed, and then all it did was just recover the move, okay? And then in the actual bear market, I mean, like from the top, man, it dropped to 80%. Can ETH drop 80% from such a move? Man, I hope not if it goes back to a floor, but you just never know. Maybe it surprises us and it gets all the way back like here, 0.07. You never know. ETH might do something very, very much at the end, and then in the bear market, it comes back down again, right? You never know. Something like that could happen where it does that and comes back down, and then you're ready to go. I know drawing these, it helps you prepare for the future, friends, because I just want you to know, like, if you're holding, seeing the future at least mapped out in your mind where you're like, hey, this thing can work, it gives you some juice to believe. Because if you think there's no way this thing can happen, then you're going to miss out. You're going to jit your bags. You're going to go and screw something else. You're going to try to do leverage, right? Later on, right? So leverage right now, friends, it's safe as chips, safe as salt and vinegar chips, okay? But you don't have to worry about the ones now. The one you got to worry about is when everyone's feeling good. That's the one you got to worry about, you know? And you only get there if you're, say, underexposed long now, which I'm sure no one here's got a problem. You probably, everyone's feeling like they have the opposite issue right now. So hopefully, all in all, friends, that Bitcoin continues pumping. It's around 81, 80, hopefully 82K, holding this monthly line. And yeah, that others ETH ratio was nice, wasn't it? Seeing altcoins accelerate against Ethereum. It means it pretty much I like that. It's telling me altcoins aren't even waiting for Ethereum to get strong and they're already moving up. So we might even find it goes up and then Ethereum gets strong and these things even get even stronger. Okay? Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Don't forget it loves you. Catch you soon.